I just would just support the tabling of it for right now and make sure that we get everything correctly in the first place.
John?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too appreciate the expediency with which these ordinances were put together. But the good moral character also concerns me, although there are 3 categories delineated under which it might be determined. Legislating good moral character troubles me down the line, as I feel our city, our citizens, and our citizens and taxpayers could be placed in jeopardy as a result of perhaps a discrimination lawsuit. So, at this time, I would support the tabling motion as well.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Unanimous. Okay, before we go into our public comment, I would like to thank the community for coming together. We don't want an issue of this nature to bring the community together. We can do this anytime we want to. I think that's the first time in history that all of our pastors of all of our churches has came together and prayed together. I think that's wonderful. I think it's wonderful that people come in from our rural community and neighboring cities to help us with our problems. We can do this on a lot of issues. Instead of being separated, let's come together as one and make Odessa a better place to live. What do you think? We're now going to open up our discussion, continued discussion on the Black Flag Dance Club. Anyone would like to speak, come forward to the microphone, and you almost got to eat that thing so people can hear us, so speak right into it.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Mike?
Ladies and gentlemen, council. My name is Mike McGee. You guys probably know that. I'm the state representative for the 122nd District that takes in all this area. We're doing some legislation now. It has to do with sectional-oriented businesses, and we might be able to do something that we can add some type of amendment on there later next week or something. You and I need to get together and talk to the city attorney and see what we can do to maybe help you here with the help you with an ordinance here, or help slow this thing down throughout the state. We don't want this in Odessa. We don't want this in St. Louis, and we'd like to see it out of Springfield or wherever something like this might be. Something citizens might consider. Just a few years ago, there was a strip club getting ready to come into Bates City, and I imagine most of the people here are not even aware of that. But a group of citizens got together and put some money. One of the citizens there in Bates City started that, and people rallied around him and got some dollars together and hired an attorney. And went after that privately and was able to shut that down. Or today there'd be billboards there at Bates City advertising some things that wouldn't make Lafayette County look good. And you know, if things can't be put together here or can't be done from the state, you know, maybe that's something that we need to look at. That we need to go to the private sector and say, hey, let's do something. Whether it be once this place opens up, we take turns hanging out there, or whether we stay in the parking lot, or whatever it is that we do. We need to take care of business and get this stopped here in Odessa, and I'm with you, and I thank you, Mayor, for being here tonight, and for all the council.
Thank you, Mike, for your comment.
Hello, my name is Monica Logis. I'm here actually on behalf of Charles Juba. He is a very good friend of mine. where do I begin? Let's see. Yeah, he has a past, but who don't have a past, right? Everybody talks about how if you go to God, you're saved from your sins and all that, you know. Charles goes to church every Wednesday, every Sunday. He is a Sunday teacher. He takes care of kids. His idea to bring this club to Odessa was the fact that this is a small town. He knew that he could come here and no problems would be, you know, there wouldn't be no problems, but I guess he was wrong on that idea. You know, when I was a kid, we had capers up in Blue Springs. All high schoolers want a place to go, you know, and have a party or dance or whatever, you know. This is a place that kids can go where they will be safe. Charles is not the type of guy that would put anybody in harm. He is a good, decent guy. He has worked in this community. Nobody has known about his past. He keeps his past to himself, you know, and now all of a sudden everybody has to, you know, everybody has to know his past. He has tried to get away from it. Yeah, he might have friends on Facebook or whatever. I've seen everybody, you know, talking about his Facebook. Yeah, he still does talk to people that, you know, he was in with back in the day. Doesn't mean that he's an active Klans member or that he's here to start any problems. You know, I even brought to his attention, you know, hey Charles, when you open this club, you do realize that, you know, there are a lot of mixed people, or, you know, you're going to have different religions coming into this club. Is this going to bother you? No, it's not going to bother him, he says, because, you know, he's worked next to Jews, black people, or whatever, you know. He's not out to start anything. He wants to start a business that he can, you know, where kids can go and have fun and where no problems will be started. Everybody's talking about his past. Well, what about the business? You know, he's wanting to open a business. What would it be the same thing if he wanted to open a McDonald's? Would he get the same reaction? No. Yeah. You know, I mean, but he has 3 kids of his own. You know, he's not a bad person. He's trying to get a safe place where teenagers can go to where there won't be no drugs, there won't be no smoking, there will be no alcohol. You know, it's 21 and under. You can't do none of that stuff in the club. What about, you know, what about the Bulldog place back in the day? You know, that was a dance club for teenagers to go to, and there wasn't no conflict on that. Why, you know, why all of a sudden is it now when he wants to? No, but there was dances. You could go there and dance. I remember my sister went there. You know, like I said, we had capers up in Blue Springs. You know, everybody just needs to give him a chance. Just because he has a past, who don't have a past?
I won't cry today. I want to respond to her, and then I have a question and a comment. Everybody does have a past, but he is dealing with our children. And if somebody was a child abuser and then said he didn't do it anymore, are you going to take your children and let your children take care of them?
Okay, no, because I wouldn't trust my child with a child.
That's right.
He may not.
As far as I'm concerned, your dad needs to stay.
No, it's not.
Well, that's your opinion.
We're not going to argue, we're going to make comments.
Okay. You said something about the sales tax thing. What does that mean? Does that mean that he's opening up tomorrow, or he's not opening up tomorrow?
How long does it take to get
So now he's not opening. Do you know how long until he provides this?
He's got to go back through the process of getting his tax ID number.
And how long is that probably going to be?
Could be 10 days, 2 weeks, I don't know.
Okay.
I was on site there today, and his facility's not ready to open, by no means.
Okay. And then I also want to thank you for your apology, because I was a little offended by your comment on that.